know King Solomon, that fascinating and mysterious figure who for centuries has captivated believers, historians, and scholars of universal culture? His name evokes unparalleled wisdom, unimaginable wealth, and a kingdom shrouded in stories of grandeur and power. But behind these stories, a crucial question arises. Did Solomon really exist, or is he just a myth? King Solomon occupies a prominent place in the sacred texts of the main monotheistic religions, the Bible, the Quran, and the Tanakh. In these accounts, his reign is described as a time of splendor in which he built a unified kingdom, promoted trade, and authored proverbs full of wisdom. However, beyond the scriptures, archaeology and history have not yet been able to conclusively confirm his existence, and this has fueled a debate that continues to this day. According to the scriptures, Solomon inherited the throne from his father, King David. The people of Israel, in the beginning, lived as a confederation of scattered tribes. It was David who unified those tribes and established Jerusalem as the capital. When David died, his son Solomon assumed power, consolidating a kingdom that, according to biblical accounts, stretched from Egypt to the Euphrates. What does archaeology say? In 1993, a revolutionary discovery shook the archaeological world. In northern Israel, at the site of Tel Dan, a basalt stele was found mentioning the House of David. This discovery provided tangible support for the existence of a royal lineage linked to David and therefore to Solomon. However, some archaeologists question whether the kingdom described in the Bible was really as vast and powerful as it is portrayed. While some findings seem to confirm certain elements of the biblical narrative, others raise doubts. For example, excavations in Jerusalem suggest that the city, during Solomon's supposed reign, was much smaller than the scriptures suggest. Could Solomon have simply been a tribal leader whose legacy was magnified over the centuries? Solomon's wisdom is undoubtedly his most celebrated attribute. According to the biblical account, when God offered him anything he desired, Solomon asked for wisdom to govern his people with justice. This request so pleased God that he not only granted him wisdom but also incomparable riches and glory. The judgment of Solomon is one of the most famous episodes of his life. Two women came to him, each claiming to be the mother of a baby. With no evidence to determine the truth, Solomon proposed a drastic solution: to cut the child in two and give half to each woman. Faced with this threat, one of them begged him to give the child to the other woman, just to save his life. Solomon, seeing her compassion, determined that she was the true mother and gave her the baby. This story has been interpreted as an example of his incredible ability to discern the truth. The Kingdom of Solomon, myth or reality? The scriptures describe Solomon as a king who amassed immense wealth through trade and tributes. His alliance with the Phoenicians allowed him to build a fleet that explored distant lands, such as Ophir, a mysterious place mentioned in the Bible as a source of gold and precious stones. In a single year, the scriptures say, Solomon received 666 talents of gold, which would be equivalent to billions of dollars today. In addition to his wealth, Solomon's reign was marked by important architectural works. The most outstanding was the Temple of Jerusalem, which housed the Ark of the Covenant. This temple, also known as the First Temple, is considered a symbol of Solomon's power and devotion to God. However, despite its historical and religious importance, no conclusive archaeological remains of the temple have been found. The Queen of Sheba, a legendary visit. Another intriguing episode in Solomon's life is his encounter with the Queen of Sheba. According to the Bible, this queen, attracted by the fame of Solomon's wisdom and wealth, traveled from a distant kingdom to meet him. She brought him exquisite gifts, such as gold, spices, and precious stones. Although the biblical accounts do not mention a romance between them, other traditions, such as the Ethiopian Kebra Nagast, suggest that they had a son named Menelik, who founded the Solomonic dynasty of Ethiopia. The magical powers of Solomon. In addition to being wise, Solomon is also known in esoteric traditions for his alleged magical powers. It is said that he possessed a ring, known as the Seal of Solomon, which allowed him to control demons and spirits. With its help, he built the Temple of Jerusalem and accomplished feats impossible for any mortal. This ring, with its distinctive pentagram or hexagram design, has inspired numerous myths and legends throughout the centuries. The Seal of Solomon is mentioned in various esoteric texts, such as the Lesser Key of Solomon, a Renaissance grimoire that details how to summon and control spirits. Although these stories are more fiction than history, They have contributed to the image of Solomon as a king with supernatural abilities. What remains of his legacy? After 40 years of reign, Solomon died and his kingdom was divided in two: the kingdom of Israel in the north and the kingdom of Judah in the south. This schism marked the end of the period of splendor attributed to him, and the two nations were never reunited. Despite doubts about the historicity of his figure, Solomon's cultural impact is undeniable. His story has inspired everything from literary works to religious traditions and popular legends. Even today, his supposed financial advice based on discipline, saving, and generosity is shared as life lessons. Conclusion: between history and myth. The figure of Solomon remains an enigma. For some, he is a symbol of wisdom and greatness. For others, a mythical figure who embodies the ideals of a bygone era. Did he really exist as described in the scriptures? Perhaps we will never know for sure. But what is clear is that his story, real or imagined, continues to fascinate generations. What do you think about King Solomon? Was he a real king, a myth, or a mix of both? Let us know in the comments, and subscribe for more stories that connect us with the past and make us reflect on the present. Thanks for joining us. See you in the next video.